We are told that for 4 days, you record the number of hours you sleep each night. You round each time to the nearest 1/4 of an hour. And then here on this table, they tell us that our different days, they tell us how many hours we slept. Day 1, we slept 7 1/4 hours. Day 2, 7 3/4. Day 3, 7 3/4. Day 4, 8 1/2 hours. Then it says, create a line plot that shows all of the measurements on the number line below. And it says click above the tick marks to add dots. Click on tick marks to remove dots. So you can see if I click right over here, a tick mark shows up, and if I click again, it gets removed. So let's see. Day 1, you slept 7 1/4 hours. So that's one day where you sleep 7 1/4. So 7 1/4 is right between 7 and 7 1/2. So that's right over there. There you go. On day 2, you sleep 7 3/4 hours. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So that's day 2. Day 3, you also sleep 7 3/4 hours. So that's another day that you sleep 7 3/4 hours. And then on day 4, you sleep 8 1/2 hours, which is right over there. And so here we go. We have created a line plot that shows all of the measurements. On one day, day 1 it was, I slept 7 1/4 hours. There were 2 days where I slept 7 3/4 hours, and there was 1 day where I slept 8 1/2 hours. Let's do another example. Amy ran many miles during September. She recorded how long it took her to run each mile, rounded to the nearest 1/4 of a minute on the table below. We can see it right over here. And actually, let me move my window a little bit so you can see everything. And then it says, create a line plot that shows all of the measurements on the number line below. All right, so 3 times she was able to run a mile in 8 3/4 minutes. So there are 3 that were 8 3/4. Notice, this is, if we look at the space between 8 and 9, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 equal intervals. And so 3/4 is going to be 3 of those, 1, 2, 3. She ran a mile in 8 3/4 minutes 3 times. That's what we saw from that table. So that's 3 times she did that. She ran a mile in 9 1/4 minutes 2 times. So 9 1/4. That is 1/4 of the way to 10. We can see 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So 9 1/4 she did 2 times. So that's going to be 1, 2. And then, let's see, 9 1/2 she did 4 times. 9 1/2 is here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 8 1/2 she did 1 time. So that's 8 1/2 right over there. And then she ran a mile in 9 minutes 5 times. 9 minutes right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're done.